Alright, legends, we're getting into Buffy once more, and I didn't mean that to sound just as dirty as it did, but what's my line? Part 2. Honestly, for some weird reason, looking back in this episode now, the ending shot to this episode, for some weird reason I had it in my head that it was actually the final shot of one of the seasons, but that's going back to the very, very first time it was on television. And back then, when it was originally been aired, I was at a very, very busy part in my own life at that point. It was just a couple of years out of high school into the working world, dating the girl that would eventually become my ex-wife. So that's another story for another time, but let's get into the episode right now. Alright, so at the end of the last episode, we seen Kendra and Buffy meeting each other, and they were fighting. Kendra introduced herself as the vampire slayer, so we pick up right there, and they come to an arrangement to stop fighting with each other. Kendra, having seen Buffy in earlier in part 1 kissing Angel, just took it that Buffy was a vampire, so she was actually there to slay her, essentially, not knowing that Buffy is indeed the vampire slayer. They come to an arrangement to go see Giles to work out what's happening, and they learn that Kendra was called when Buffy temporarily died in her fight with the Master and Prophecy Girl. I did say that in the last episode. Meanwhile, Wally has saved Angel. Wally's the guy that owns the bar that Angel was in, trying to get information when Angel was attacked by Kendra and locked in the cage, and the sun is just about to fry him. Wally gets him out of there, but he sold him out to Spike, and Spike takes Angel back to the warehouse where he will be held until he can be sacrificed to restore Drusilla to full strength. That's what the key gave Spike and the book that they stole, and the spell that they're going to use. They need the blood of the sire of Drusilla, who of course is Angel. We learned that earlier on in the season. At the end of the last episode, Xander and Cordelia were in Buffy's house, and the salesman turned up, who's one of the assassins, the guy that just can dismantle himself into a lot of bugs and stuff. So they run and they hide in the basement. Although before long they're arguing with each other. After an unexpected kiss, they rush to escape, running past the attacking mealworm assassin. At school, Buffy, whose test results recommend a career in law enforcement, attends a career seminar. The police officer leading the seminar, she says, like, this woman is like, when I call your name, put your hand up, and she goes, Buffy Summers, and Buffy puts her hand up, and the woman pulls a gun and starts shooting. She's also one of the assassins, and yes, Oz ends up getting shot and slightly injured as he pushes Willow out of harm's way. Kendra busts in to Buffy's rescue, and they fight off the attacker. The Scoobies then gather in the library where Giles announces that Spike intends for Angel to die in the ritual to restore Drusilla. Angel's tortured by Drusilla, both emotionally and physically. She goes to town on him in this episode, like pouring holy water on him, and you get to see, although she is an evil vampire, so it's pretty much the human body with the demon in control, but the demon that inhabits the body of Drusilla also has all the memories of the human Drusilla, the one that Angel tortured and drove crazy, and like, she goes into some details and the stuff that Angel as Angelus did to her back in the day, and like, she's taken out not just her own anger on Angel, but the anger and hurt of the human version of Drusilla. It's a very, very good performance. So good. Angel taunts Spike with Spike comes in, and Angel's like, you're not much of a guy, Spike, like she'll never be as satisfied with you as she was with me, the way she just touched me before you come in there just goes to show me that she's, she doesn't know what a real man is like, essentially. In the hope that Spike will kill him. This is the only reason Angel is doing it, is he's trying to bait Spike into actually killing him before he can be used as a cure for Drusilla. But Drew steps in, stops Spike. He realises you almost fell for your game. It's not going to happen. You're going to die slowly and painfully along with the rest of this town. Meanwhile, Kendra gains a newfound respect for Buffy's qualities as a Slayer. Later, the Slayers go after Wooly to learn what happened to Angel, and they force Wooly to take them to the location of Spike and Angel. However, Wooly leads them to the assassins, and the ritual has already begun. Buffy attacks Spike to save Angel, and Kendra and the rest of the gang arrive to back her up. Xander and Cordelia lure the mealworm assassin underneath a door into a liquid glue trap, and there's a fair little bit of comedy in that part of it too. Willow and Giles stake a vampire while Buffy and Kendra fight several of their own. Spike starts a fire and rushes to rescue the unconscious Drusilla, hoping that the ritual has had time to cure her. It didn't go the full length, and Angel doesn't die through the ritual, so it isn't complete, so he's not sure what's going to happen, but all he knows is he needs to get Drusilla out of there before they get beaten. She's in a weakened, unconscious state, so he lifts her and he's running to get out, and Buffy prevents their exit, and she fires this thing, hits him in the head, and it brings down they're in a church, and one of those big grand organs crashes down on top of Spike and Drusilla, and you can't see them below the wreckage. So Buffy and Kendra help Angel to get out of the building. With the danger over, it's time for Kendra to leave, and Buffy and Kendra discuss their position as Slayer. Kendra remarks that Buffy considers slaying as a job when it's actually a part of who she is, and Buffy's like, did you learn that from your Slayer handbook or your Watcher or something? Kendra's like, no, I learned that from you. At the end of this here, they're friends forever sort of deal. They say their goodbyes, and Buffy is left with a new outlook on her position as Slayer, as well as the knowledge that she is no longer alone in her calling. Earlier in the episode, she was kind of hoping that, if things went okay, that maybe she could step down from the role of Slayer and let Kendra take it on, and she could have like a normal life to herself. But by the end of the episode, she's came to terms with the fact that this is who I am. This is why I'm here. There's no point in fighting it anymore. And then we get to the tasty finish to the episode. At the remains of the church, Spike lies seriously injured under the rubble, and Drusilla rises, the ritual having worked and restored her to full power. She doesn't just lift him off the ground, she grabs him by the arm and she lifts him, just one-handedly lifts him up in the air, and he's like dangling like a little rag doll in her arms, and she's like, "That's okay, my love, I will nurse you back to health, and then you'll be strong, just like me." And then you just see the wreckage, the burned out church, and her walking out with Spike in her arms. It's a great closing sequence in the episode. And again, for some weird unknown reason, I did have it in my mind that this was, it's almost like a cliffhanger to a season. So I think that's just why I kind of had that in my head. Although, we're barely halfway through season 2 at this point when this happened. But, if they were going to do a cliffhanger finish to a series, that would have been a cracker one to go out on. But it is what it is. It's a great episode. I really did enjoy this one. And can't wait to get back into this series and check it out again. It's been a lot of years since I watched it properly, and I'm enjoying the crap out of it. And I hope, as far as these episodes go, you're enjoying them too. I'll talk to you in the next episode. This has been a production of Coins Age Media. Thank you so much for listening.